Bitcoin have dropped significantly from this very area into this very point as expected. What next for the price of BTC? Are we going to see the market from here move all the way to the upside, because that is a possibility, or market is going to break out on this level of important support and move all the way to the downside? I'll be discussing this in detail in this very video. And if you look at the price of Ethereum, it seems like the market is going to break out on this level of important support, and if that happens, market is going to come all the way to the downside into this very area of $2,000. I'll be discussing this in detail and the exact target you should be paying attention to in this very video. And if you look at the price of Pi, you discover that the market right here is having a very dull momentum from the bears and the bulls. You look at it at this very point, market have capability of moving down a little bit before the next move to the upside. So I can say a potential upward move on Pi from the bulls is very, very important in this very area. Watch this video gradually all the way to the very end. The first thing here is the Bitcoin price action, which is very, very important, because if Bitcoin begin to come all the way to the downside, we know that market for sure 95 to 98% of crypto out there is going to begin to drop all the way to the downside as well. And that is why this is important. Once Bitcoin begin to make significant bullish advances to the upside, then it means that a lot of crypto out there is going to also make that very move to the upside as well, obviously. So from this very area, I am looking at something very important right now, because we see that this very week was the FOMC meeting and the federal fund rate. Of course, Fed kept rate unchanged, that is 4.5 or 4.50 basic point, as you may call it. And then we see this very rejection right here on this very bearish candle. And from here, market just enter into this very area, which is a very significant support. But right now, I am looking at something very different for market moving upward. The most important thing we should have paid attention to is, because if we see the market from here fail to create a new high at this very point, higher than this very high right here, and from that time we see market come back down but did not create a new low lower than this very low, then it means something is very important on this very price action, which means market have possibility of coming back into this very area. That is very possible, okay? And that is a possibility I want you to look at on price action right now, because that is what I am now looking at, for the fact that market did not create a new low here. Now, the possibility of market creating a new low is there, but if we see in the next 2 days, market move upward and did not create a new low, then that means there is a high possibility of market breaking out right on this very point of resistance. And that is why you must change your perspective on price action as the days begin to unfold. Don't stick to a very particular point that market must come to this very area while price action keeps forming. As price action keeps forming, your perspective in the market might change, because price action is what you are following to make that decision. So this is what I am now expecting right now on the Bitcoin price action. For the fact that we don't see market come back down, market is going to move upward. And in the next 2 days, if we see the market come back down into this very area and create a new low, then that means market have a high capacity of coming into this very area. That is very, very important. So let me make a recap of what I just said. Market come back down into this very area, creating a new low, means that market have a greater possibility of coming into this very area. And in the next 2 days, if we don't see the market come back here and we see market move upward, then that means there is a high tendency of the market breaking out right on this very point. So where we should focus on is these 2 points of support right here and this resistance area right at this very point. That's where you should focus right now. Market breakout here, movement all the way upward, creating a new all-time high. And market breaking down on this level of support means market is going to come into this very area, obviously. And that is what you need to pay attention to. And if you look at the 4-hour chart right here, it is covered that the market is going to move upward. In my opinion, market have a greater capacity of moving upward than crashing all the way to the downside. Of course, we see the market crash back down, and of course, a lot of liquidation at this very point, because market seems to move upward around this very area, and a lot of people took buy position. Market come back down, collect liquidity, so liquidation must occur if liquidity is collected off the market, and then market is going to move upward. In my opinion, from this very area where the market is right now, we should expect the market from this very price level of 103.8k and this very area of 1.7k, that is 101k $700 at this very point. This is where I am expecting market to move upward from. So expect the market to move within this very area to the upside. That is my personal opinion and what I am now focusing on the Bitcoin price action for our chart and the 1-day chart from now moving forward. If you look at the Ethereum price action on the 1-day chart, this very divergence is still playing out on this very price action. We see this very divergence right here, which is a complete bearish divergence, and on the indicator, so market should come back down. And funnily enough, market come into the exact point of important support we expect the market to come into. And what next for the market? I believe that the market also have capacity of moving upward a little bit. Remember, there is no breakout yet on this very area. So if we see a breakout, then this is what you should expect from the market if a breakout occur. And this is what I am personally expecting as well. And I'm focusing on this because it's very important to a lot of altcoins out there. A breakout on this level of support is going to send us into this very area. So this very point of resistance right here will serve as the next point of interest. So this very area is what we should focus on right if the breakout occur. So from this very point, I am looking at market coming into this very area right here. This $2,000 level is very important. So this is what I am now looking at if we see a breakout on this level of important support. Pay attention to this. I am on the 1-day chart, so expect the market to move upward. And if market did not move upward, a breakout here is going to make the market to come into these $2K. This is very important on this very chart. And of course, we know that there is a fair value gap within this very area, and market is going to definitely bounce off from here to the upside if the market break out on this level of support. Because of this fair value gap, market is going to bounce up, and that is why I have chosen this $2K to be the level you need to focus on within this very support zone. So this is what you have to pay attention to be in the right direction of the market, and this is what I am personally looking at as well on my price action. And if I go back a little bit to the 4-hour chart, you see that something very different here is going to play out. I am expecting the market to come back down a little bit, okay? So on the 4-hour chart, you notice that the markets have been coming all the way to the downside. We see this move to the downside, and then market move upward, market come back down, move up a little bit, and then come back down again into this very area. Right now, market is going to come back down a little bit into this very area as well before the next move to the upside. That is what I am looking at. I am looking at the market move upward, not a significant push all the way to the upside. Anything can happen in crypto, but personally, I am not expecting a significant aggressive pump all the way to the upside. Just a gradual recovery from the bears to the bulls. That is, market come back down a little bit and then they move to the upside, not aggressive one, and a possible breakout on this very level of resistance. And that is what I am looking at right now. That is within this very area of $2,600 and $2,500 within this very point of resistance right here. Market should move upward and break out on this level. This is what I am expecting right now. So an aggressive dump in the market is a possibility, but I'm not expecting an aggressive dump. Just a little dump a little bit, okay, before the market is going to move upward. This is what you need to pay attention to on the price of ETH 1-day chart and the 4-hour chart from now moving forward. BTCUSDT 1-day chart, if you look at this very price action, you discover the market has been coming all the way to the downside. And from this very point, I am expecting market to come back down a little bit, okay, before the next move to the upside. So I'm expecting a potential move all the way to the upside. That is a bullish move on the price of Pi moving forward. Just a significant bullish move, not aggressive one. Okay, moving forward is what I am expecting on the price of Pi from here. So from this very point, expect just a little move to the downside from this very area. Okay, and then to this very point, creating a new close lower than the previous close at this very area, not a low, not to this very point, but a previous close at this very point. So market should come back down and create a new close before the market is going to move upwards. So this is my expectation, just a slight movement to the downside within this very area of 0.46 before the market is going to move all the way to the upside. This is my personal opinion on the price of Pi right now. Just a little move from the bears before the bulls is going to take control a little bit all the way to the upside, because if you look at it, market has been coming all the way to the downside and the price don't move in one direction for a very long time. At least we should see the market continue a little bit downward and then a recovery to the upside before continuation to the downside. This is a typical example of what I am looking at on the price of Pi right here on the 1-day chart. So pay attention to these guys to be in the right direction of the market on the price of Pi. And if you look at the 4-hour chart here, discover that the 4-hour chart looks very, very bearish. From this very point, market come back down, retracement, come back down, create a new low, and the market move upward. Right now, I am expecting that the market come back down. Okay, market should continue this downward formation on the price of Pi 4-hour chart before the market is going to move up again. Just like we see this very retracement, after this very impulsive move, market is going to definitely retrace as well before the next continuation to the downside. This is what I am expecting on the price of Pi right now. So on the immediate short term, expect the market to come back down. And if you look at coin market cap, you discover that there is a significant decline in crypto market capitalization right here, the global market capitalization to $3.21 trillion. The last time it was at $3.24 trillion, which means market has been coming all the way to the downside because of the price of Bitcoin coming back down and the price of ETH as well. And if you look at the fear and greed index, still within the neutral zone, but shifting to the fear zone, which means we could enter into the fear zone very, very soon. And this is what we must have to pay attention to. So all of this is very, very important in the market, because when this shifts to the greed area, it signifies greed, and people want to take more position when they are greedy, especially when they are seeing price moving all the way to the upside. So they FOMO into the market, which makes the market more greedier. Pay attention to all of this to be in the right direction of the market. Consider supporting this channel by leaving a like for this video, subscribe if you have not, and turn on the bell notification for more crypto videos like this one. Also check the channel for other crypto content. Join our Telegram channel, link in the description of this very video and also in the pinned comment for more crypto update. Link down below. Join right now. It is a free channel. Thanks for watching, and I will see you in the next video.